It's been a busy year for Google TV, relatively speaking. In May, we got the first new device since Chromecast with Google TV, and that's been, what, years now, right? That was the Onn 4K Pro, a Walmart exclusive of all things. Later, in September, we got the really exciting thing, Google TV Streamer. Horrible name, really cool device. But more important than that is more features, much more powerful, and yeah, double the price at $100. I'm Phil Nickinson, and I've been using Google TV since long before it was Google TV, actually. I'm pretty old. So let's take a look at these two, Google TV Streamer and the Onn 4K Pro, and figure out which one's right for you. But first, you know what to do, right? Go hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, tell your friends, tell your family. I will stand here and wait until you do it. I've got all day. All right, good, thanks. Oh, and by the way, we've got a new subscription membership thing here on YouTube. You definitely need to check that out. Go do that too. All right, let's do it. Let's get into some Google TV. So let's start with the Onn 4K Pro. Now, I actually did a whole review of that already, so you should take a minute when you're done here, or before, now, whatever. Be sure to watch that. Here are the broad strokes of the Onn 4K Pro, though. It is a Walmart brand exclusive that sells for 50 bucks, or the same as the old 4K Chromecast with Google TV. But seeing as how it's newer and more powerful, it's actually a good bit faster than Chromecast with Google TV, and that's important. That thing was a lag. Otherwise, same Google TV experience, same home screen, same apps, same notifications, all that stuff. And probably most important, all of the same streaming services, same as it ever was. Really, nothing's changed there. All right, the biggest difference with Onn 4K Pro is that it's a box and not a dongle, and that means a few things, right? First is that it's a little harder to hide behind a TV, but it also means there's room for new features like USB and Ethernet, and it has microphones. That's right, it's got an always listening array of microphones on board, and probably more important than that, a switch so you can turn them off if you don't want to use them. So yeah, it's essentially like an Amazon Fire TV Cube, or an Echo speaker, or a Google Home Hub thing, right? One of those. Always listening for you so you can yell voice commands at it. Now, the remote control, and I need to preface this by saying yours might or might not look like mine. It was a whole thing. Anyway, the remote has a remote control finder chirping thing in it. So if you lose the remote control, you push the button on the front of the Onn 4K Pro box, and the remote starts chirping to make it easier to find. Very cool. Everything should have that. Now, Onn 4K Pro is not the most powerful device in the world. I can hear the NVIDIA Shield fans yelling already. You are absolutely correct. But it is definitely better than Chromecast. I feel 100% fine in saying that. Now, the new hotness, though, is the Google TV Streamer. And this is the device that is officially putting Chromecast out to pasture. Now, as I record this, you can still buy a Chromecast with Google TV. I don't know how long that's gonna keep going on, though. Eventually, they will all be gone. The biggest difference here is in how they look. Now, obviously, they're part of the same family, but Google TV Streamer, and that's a really awkward name to say over and over again. I hate it so much. Well, it's meant to be out in the open and not dongled behind a TV. And that's mostly because of some extra hardware inside. We're gonna get to that in a minute. And that doesn't mean you can't put it behind a TV. I've seen people do it. That's not really how Google intended it to be, though. Now, Google TV Streamer also has a newer processor and more RAM than Chromecast, so it's definitely faster than it is too. I think it's maybe a little bit faster than the Onn 4K Pro box. It could be because of the extra gig of RAM. It could just be because it's newer, a different processor, or some Google special sauce. Don't know. And that's kind of anecdotal, but I think it's just a tad bit faster. Or it could also be that it has newer software. Another possibility. Speaking of which, Google TV Streamer launched with Android 14, and again, as of the time of this recording, it's the only device I have that's running Android TV 14. Onn 4K Pro and Chromecast are still on Android 12. Does that make a big difference? Maybe, maybe not. So the bigger deal is that there's a bunch of smart home stuff baked into this, and that starts with the software. So new this time is a home panel that lives over in the menu drawer thing. The easiest way to get to it is just to hold down the home button, and basically anything that lives in the Google Home app can show up here. It will depend on what you have, of course. Now me, I have a few Nest cameras and a Nest doorbell and some Philips Hue lights and some Govee lights and a Nest thermostat, so I've got plenty of stuff that'll show up in here. And probably more important is that it all works. I can turn lights off and on. I can change the temperature. I can look at my cameras. Very cool. Now the doorbell is fun because if someone rings it, I'll get a pop-up notification on the TV and can see who it is from there. But Again, as of the time I'm recording this, and I'm gonna say that over and over again, there is a pretty big delay between the time that somebody hits the bell and the notification actually pops up on the screen. For me, it's been about 7 or 8 seconds. Now that might not seem like a lot of time, but as you're waiting for it to pop up so you can see who it is instead of just, going to the door, it feels like an eternity. And before you say it's my network, no, it's not. And before you say it's my ISP, no, it's not. That's just how long it's taken right now. Another thing that bothers me a little bit, I can't talk back to the person who's at the door. I can do it from my phone, I can do it from other devices, can't do it from Google TV Streamer, despite the fact that, there's a microphone built into the remote control. One other major hiccup, I call it major anyway, is that I don't actually have all my cameras on all the time. Some of them are, like the doorbell, but some don't turn on until I leave the house. But here's the thing, they show up in the Google Home panel on Google TV Streamer all the time, whether or not they're turned on. So I have just a big black box. It's not really helpful, and I can't actually turn those cameras on from the TV. Google told me that's a security thing. They want you to have to do it from the Google Home app, from your phone, or from a web browser. Fine, but it feels like it's just taking up space and showing me something that I can't see. Like, how is that useful? It's not. I do love the thermostat control though, no notes. So, more smart home stuff. Google TV Streamer supports a couple things called Matter and Thread. Now, I absolutely hate talking about smart home protocols. It bores me to death. All you need to know is that those things allow all the connected smart things in your house that also support Matter and Thread to talk to each other a little better. Not better, just at all actually, and will work cross-platform. So if something supports Matter, it'll work on Google Home, or it'll work on Samsung Smart Things, or even, as I found out, Apple TV, which is really cool if you want to use HomeKit for a lot of stuff. All right, fine. Now another new thing on Google TV Streamer is the remote control. Now I don't think we need to overthink it, it's still a remote control, and it basically looks and feels like the Chromecast remote, only a little better. It's a little bigger. The volume buttons have moved to a much more natural spot from the side to the face. And it has that customizable magic star button thing that we first saw on the Onn 4K Pro remote. You can tie it to a specific app or map it to an input on your TV. The YouTube button also can be mapped to either YouTube proper, YouTube TV, or YouTube Music, depending on which ones you have installed. Onn 4K Pro did that first too. Oh, and remember how the Onn 4K Pro has a remote finder? So does Google TV Streamer. I said it should be on every device, and it's on this one too. It's really simple, just push the button on the back of the device and your remote control will start chirping. Don't hold that button down, that actually will reset the whole box. But just push it once, remote starts chirping, easy to find. Now, the smart home panel that you see in the home screen, that's coming to other Google devices, and we're already starting to see it in the public preview for Chromecast. But another one that's coming is this new AI-generated ambient art. It's the screensavers. So behind me right now, I have pictures of my family, but if you don't want to use those, you can use this AI-generated art. Or you can click through the various sort of suggestions it has and create art that way. It's kind of fun for a few minutes, I guess, but I don't want to spend that much time thinking about generating new art when I have a camera and I take plenty of pictures of my family and things I actually want to see. So again, cool option to have, not something I would necessarily buy this device for. So all things being equal, we have what are really the same experience on both devices, on both the Onn 4K Pro and the new Google TV Streamer. So which one should you get? Now I'm just gonna come out and say it, I'm a brand snob when it comes to this sort of thing. I trust Google more than I trust other manufacturers with a device like this. I trust Google to keep the software more up to date. I trust it to pay more attention to this device than it does some other manufacturer's device. That's not actually a slight against the Onn 4K Pro. It's really good. And we should talk about the price again, right? 50 bucks for the Onn 4K Pro, 100 bucks when not on sale for Google TV Streamer. I get it. That's, an easy decision for some people to make. But Onn 4K Pro is already a little behind on the software front. It's still running Android 12, again, as of the time of this recording. And more important to me is that it's still running on the original security update that it pushed out with. That hasn't been updated yet. So me, for my money, I would spend the extra $50 and get Google TV Streamer. It's not a different experience at all. If you do have a lot of smart home stuff at home and need a hub to tie it all together, that's what you're gonna want. If you absolutely wanna make sure that you're gonna have the latest and greatest software from Google TV Streamer. It's in the name, right? At the end of the day for me, I'm gonna go with a device that I am 99.9% sure Google is going to pay more attention to. And hopefully that means it's the device that's gonna last a long, long time. So that's it, Google TV Streamer versus Onn 4K Pro. Again, pretty much same experience. One's maybe a little faster, it's definitely twice as expensive, but I think it's the one Google's gonna keep up with. If you think I'm wrong, let me know down in the comments. Shoot me an email. We'll be back real soon with more. See ya.